Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, by Shura Kakadash, double honors and other prosperity bills, so we talk the truth and will. Peace, blessing, and salutation, Akmat there, scattered bars in the fourth of the earth, that service, truth and true sincerity. To you, I say Shalom. This is Brother Abala, cooks another video in the spirit, and, hold on real quick, so I can about this.
To place call on your Bluetooth phone.
Alright, so lucky about that. Yeah, this is Brother Nabala, because of the video in the spirit. And the top of this video is going to be about he wants to be God on the earth. And what sparked this video topic was I was watching this movie. It was called, I believe it's called Free State. I think I can't remember the title slips my mind right now. But it's on Amazon Prime, and it has John Cena and Idris Elba in it. You know, I ain't gonna say too much about it. You know, it's a, you can look at it as a comedy movie. You know, John Cena is supposed to be the president of the United States, and Idris Elba is the prime minister of Britain or London. You know, so that's how that plays out. And in that movie, you know, they have this thing, you know, which is when it's in every movie. You know, it's in Fast and Furious, you know, the one that has when they have the God's Eye, and this one is called Escalon. But in every movie, you know, you see where they have this either top secret organization or this program that can see everything, you know. You seen that in the movie, the new remake of the War of the Worlds. You know, Ice Cube. He was working for a company, and he was able to tap into everything, tap into cameras, audio, listen to everything, see everything. So he has been showing, you know, recently. I mean, throughout the years, but more recently, you know, of having some type of technology or some type of program like this. That'll make no sense to like it, but some type of program like this existing where they can see everything, and that's them wanting to be guys on this earth, man, having that power that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has, because the Lord sees everything, the Lord knows everything, man, and that's what he is trying to accomplish. You know, that's why cameras are in place everywhere. That's why these cameras have audio everywhere. That's why they can they need to tap into your phone. They got satellites everywhere. He wants to be in control of everything, but he's trying to make it where he has ultimate control over everything, which is what? When he implements his MWO system and he makes mandatory the MOTB. That's how he's gonna truly have true control over everything, because once that MOTB is inside of you, whether it's in your hand or your forehead, he's gonna know everything. He's gonna know where you are, where you're at all times, so you're not gonna be able to hide from him, man. You know, and who knows what else is gonna go with that. When I think about this movie Upgrade, you know, they had put the C-hip inside of him, and they was actually talking to him. You know, but who says that that C-hip won't be able to they won't be able to hack into it and know your data or know your thoughts, know what you're thinking. You know, this is what he wants to do. He wants to accomplish these type of things. You know, these are the type of things that he's searching out and trying to figure out how he can actually bring it to pass, man. He's trying to be a God on this earth, man, through his technology. You know, and he's going to reach a certain level with it, but he's not going to fully be able to accomplish everything that he wants to accomplish, because the Lord is going to intervene. But I'm going to grab this. This is Sirach 39 and 19. It says, the works of all flesh are before him, and nothing can be hid from his eyes. Nothing can be hid from the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And this is what he wants, man. He wants to make sure that you can't hide nothing from him. That's why they're trying to get away with the dollar and bring in this digital currency, man. That's why they're trying to make this one world currency. That's why they're bringing in a digital ID, man. He wants to know everything. He wants to have his hand in everything. He don't want no more money being able to be made without him having a say so in it, without him being able to trace it, to know where to go back to, what is this transaction happening for, man. They're gonna cut out everything, man. You You know, this is part of him transitioning over to his NWO system, man. Because he wants to put himself as the Most High. He wants to esteem himself as the Most High, and he's not going to be able to, man. Let me grab this real quick. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It says, "Seeing now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever." And this is what he wants to be able to do, man. He wants to have the power over life and death, man. You know, they already, in the sense, have the power of wounding and healing, because what does he do? He puts out these sicknesses out here in the earth, which cause people to get sick, to get ill, these diseases, all these things that happen. And then what do you have to do? You have to go to him to receive the medicine, to receive the help, the care that you need. But with you doing that, how do you receive it? You have to pay for it, man. And he makes these things very expensive where you can't afford it. So then they'll put you in they'll give you the care, but then they'll send you a bill about how much more, and now you're in debt, man. He wants to constantly put you in debt, man, keep you in debt, because as long as you're in debt, you're going to always have to be depending on him, and you're always going to have to rely on him. That's how wicked this man is, man. He creates these diseases, and then makes a cure for them. So you got to come to him. It's all about money with this man, and all about money, and it's all about control, man. He wants to tap into that next level, of that total control, but being able to know, know your thoughts, man. Because when that MOTP happens, and have that control over your body. Because once you put that inside your body, like I said, you never know. When you were looking at movie Upgrade, it came once, because it started off with the dude having to give access to see if the AI in his head to take over at times. But then the AI got over on him and had him reboot the whole system, where the AI didn't have to ask him for permission anymore. He could just take over whenever he wants. So it can come like that. And also you look at shows like Black Mirror, where they put you in these like these trance, or these not visions, but I guess you could say visions, but virtual worlds. Yeah, they put you in a virtual world where you thinking that you're in a whole nother place, living a whole nother life, but your body is somewhere else, man. That's what he is trying to tap into, that mind control, man. And who has the true mind control? How about Shim Yahushai? He controls people's mind. He's already determined what you're gonna do, man. Through how about Shim Yahushai? He plays on people's minds. You see that when it goes to, matter of fact, let me grab that real quick, just to back up the point. This is Proverbs 21 and 1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of the water. He turneth it wheresoever he will." Yes. So these kings and these rulers that have been set up through time, the Lord has been in control of determining what they're going to do, man. Their minds are in his hands, man. And that's what he wants to be able to do with people, man, on the earth. He wants to have their minds in his hands where he can have control, man. So that's what he's trying to tap into. But moreover to the fact, going back to the point, how they have these, I believe they do, have some type of organizations or some program that can see everything, that when they want to, they can tap into. They can tap into and pull up all your old files, or all your call logs, or any information about you, and be able to track you, But right now, if you want to, you can go off the grid. How you go off the grid? You throw away your phone, a car, you have a chip in your car, you can abandon your car, they won't be able to track you. You don't have nothing that's trackable in your body, You know, you see that in the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith. You know, they put bugs in his shoes and clothes everywhere. You know, so the dude had got rid of them and they wasn't able to track him. But then with these satellites, you know, with these cameras everywhere, you know, they could pick up where you at, you know, and facial recognition and all of that. So that's another way to track you. But once he puts that chip inside of you, then there's nothing you can do. He's gonna have that complete control over you, and that's what he's trying to obtain. This is Obadiah 1:3. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" It says, "Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, then shall I bring thee down, saith the Lord." Yeah, that's Esau's mindset, man. He's been able to exalt himself up, you know, as an eagle, man, through his space stations, man. He's able to, you know, with his telescopes, search out, you know, the outer space. You know, you do some type of research. You know, they haven't done a lot, but they have seen a lot. You know, through their satellites, through the technology the Lord has blessed them with. They have been able to search out a few things. You know, he is a wise man, but the wisdom that he once had and the wisdom he used to and how he used to conduct himself is diminishing. The Lord is diminishing that. That's what the scripture says. There's no wisdom in Tina, because how he's moving right now is very tacky. You know, he's not moving as that cunning man that he once used to move with. You know, now he's moving very tacky now. You know, the Lord is diminishing his wisdom. But from the things that he was able to do, he's very prideful. You know, so he think he's going to be able to accomplish the things that he set out to accomplish, man. He think that he's going to fully be able to get his NWO system up and running, man. That he's going to be able to put the MOTB inside of everyone on the planet Earth. That he's going to have that full control that he's desiring for. But the Lord is going to prevent that from happening, because that's not his lot, man. That's not the will of Yahweh Shemyahu Shai. Okay? The Lord is allowing him to build himself up and to do these things, so when the Lord takes him out, he can be glorified, man. Because it's gonna look like, when he does, it's gonna look like, damn, who is gonna be able to take this man out? You know, who's gonna be able to, you know, intervene? The Lord is gonna intervene, man. Yahweh Shai is gonna intervene and bring this man down. Let me grab this. This is Habakkuk 2:4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yet also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and keepeth unto him all people." Yeah, that's what he does, man. That's what he wants to do. That's how he conducts himself. You know, he's not a keeper at home. He wants to gather all nations up to himself. You know, he wants to have control over everything. You know, and he cannot be satisfied. You know, here you go, this man is in control. You know, the elites, they are the ones in control. They have everything. They have an abundance of riches, man. They have the top of the top resources, man. The top of the top food, man. They can get anything. They can do anything, man. But what? That's not enough, man. Because what? He's the wicked, man, and he cannot be satisfied. You know, he always wants more and more and more. You know, and he transgresses by wine through his philosophies, man, through the way of life that he pushes on people, man, to make you believe and conform to it. You know, here you go. He didn't colonize so many different nations and so many different countries, and that's still not enough for him, man. You know. That's why the Lord has to take this man out, because if he was able to run rampant and run unchecked and to actually accomplish the things that he thought to accomplish, life would cease to exist at some point, because the lifestyle that Esau promotes and pushes is not life, it's actually death. You know, he's destroying the earth, he's destroying the people, he's destroying the mind of the people, he's doing all of these things, man, and that's why he has to be taken out, so true life can happen. So the earth can flourish, man, because he's destroying it. The scriptures say that. I believe in Isaiah 24. And I believe Revelation is him that destroyed the earth. This man is destroying the earth. Let me grab this. This is Psalms 49 and 11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. It says in their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names. Yeah, this is their inward thought. He thinks he's going to be able to dwell forever. He thinks he's going to be able to actually accomplish his plans, man. You know, it says call names by their own lands. He will go somewhere where a nation of people is dwelling, figure out how they're living, and then take over, colonize it, kick them out, and then rename the land after themselves, man. And you can look out through history and see that. That's what he has done, man. Throughout history, that's his track record, you know. So and he's been doing that for so long and haven't been checked about it, that he thinks he's going to be able to continue to do that, man. But he's in for a rude awakening, man. You know, like it says in Romans 9 and 17, the Lord is allowing him to raise himself up so he can be glorified and taking this man down, man. Because he doesn't think he's going to be taken down, man. He thinks through his technology that he's going to be able to war against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's why over there it says, thy pride of thy heart have deceived thee. You are deceiving yourself to think you're going to be able to fight against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which you're going to fight against him. You're going to fight against Yahweh Shai, but you're not going to win. You're not going to overcome. The one who gets the victory in the end is Yahweh Shai. So, I'm going to grab this. This is Revelations 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah, man. If you don't conform to E's NWO system, man, you're going to be killed, man. If you don't want to receive that RFID CHIP inside of your body, you're going to be killed, man, because Esau's going to look at you as a threat, because you're not going to be able to be controlled, man. They're going to throw you into those camps, man. And they're going to try to break you. They're going to try to break you. And if you refuse to conform to what, you're going to also be taken out. You know, that's what he's going to do. That's his plan, man. You know, and that's what we're coming down to. But throughout this process, what is he doing? He's trying to get rid of a lot of Jake, man, a lot of Israelites, man. Because when you look out through the history, you have some righteous Israelites who've always rebelled against when E tried to come down with that great wrath, man. You know, when you look at the time of Antiochus and you look at the time of the Maccabees, when you had Judas and his brothers rebelling, and then you had the story of the seven sons, you know, that died because they wasn't willing to conform to the commandment. You know, Esau has these records as well, man, and he knows that the Israelites are going to be a problem. So he's trying to get rid of us, man, because the true threat to his society are the men out there on the highways and byways, prophesying against him, exposing him. Because what is that doing? That's sparking the minds of other people, man. We're bringing the truth out. We're exposing. We're telling people what his plans are. So that's going to create some type of pushback. So he's trying to eliminate any type of pushback, man. He doesn't want no pushback. He wants people to be easily conformed. That's why these things are happening. That's why these jobs are being done away with, man. He's bringing in his AI, where AI is going to start taking over, man. You know, all these things are strategically happening, man. So Esau can bring in his new NWO system, you know, because I forgot who said it, but the saying goes that you will own nothing and you will be happy or something like that. That's what it's going to be like. You're not going to own it. You're not going to have no say in nothing. You're just going to be out here just roaming like an NPC, you know, just out here roaming, not having no say, not having no control, man. You know, and then brothers have had visions and dreams about the MOTB, man, and what it looks like. You know, we don't know exactly what it looks like, but when you hear the brothers give their testimony and they give their vivid explanation of what's going on, you can see something like that happening, man. You know, I remember the one brother who did the testimony said that, and it wasn't a brother, I think it was just a regular Jake. He did the testimony saying that people that had the MOTB and the people that didn't, they was like in some type of camp. But the people that did have it, they was able to roam around freely, and they couldn't see, like they didn't notice the other people who didn't have it. They didn't notice what was going on with them, and that's what he wants, man. He wants to, and that's that part of that mind control. He wants to put you in his world. He wants you to live the way he wants you to live, man. So that's what we're coming to. So I'm gonna grab this last scripture, and I'm gonna close out. This is Job 20 and 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah, when he's about to fill his belly, man, when he's getting close, you know, when he think he's about to put the C-hip inside of everybody, man. And he's like, yes, I'm about to do it. I'm about to finally accomplish what I've been set out to do. The Lord is going to intervene, and he's going to cast his fury upon him. And how is he going to intervene? Yahweh Shai is going to return, man. You know, because a lot of things have to happen. World War III has to still happen. And while World War III is going on, what's going to happen then? Yahweh Shai is going to return during World War III. And while they're over there fighting amongst each other, when Yahweh Shai returns, they're going to turn and fight against him. And Yahweh Shai is going to put down all the armies of all these other nations, man. And that's the end. And that's the end of Esau's world. When Yahweh Shai returns and put an end to his rulership, put an end to his authority. You know, and he reigns, man. You know, as well as, and when he returns, he's going to beam up his elect. You know, and we're gonna, you know, Yahweh Shai is going to crown us. We're going to receive the crowns for receiving the victory. Yahweh Ratazah would be those men. And then what? We're going to come down and start establishing the new world, you know, which is going to be the kingdom, man. And that's going to be the end. So, even though he's trying to obtain and trying to think he's going to be able to get that full control, he's not, man. You know, the Lord is allowing him to do these things because it's a fulfillment of prophecy. But at the end, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai gets the victory, and you're going into captivity. No matter who you are, man. If you're a descendant of Esau Edom, you are going into captivity. That is your lot. There's nothing you can do about it, man. No matter how nice you want to be, and you can't believe, you can't repent. Nothing you can do is gonna grant you salvation, man. If you're an Edomite, man, you are going into captivity. And that's not we're saying that. That's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said. As a matter of fact, I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to close out. Revelations 13 and 10. It says, he that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Yeah, and that's what we're patiently waiting for. Okay? You know, for your house shall return, man, and for us to have our chance to put you in captivity, man, and for us to have our chance to get our hands on you. For all the things you've done throughout history to the Lord's chosen people, to the Israelites, man, we're patiently waiting for us to get our payback. So, that's pretty much it. Lord, when this video is edifying, I'm going to close up and giving our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom.